This electric SUV has no compromises. This is actually the new Audi Q8 e-tron that has just launched in India. And what I like about this car is that there's no gimmicks, be it in terms of looks, the feature set, and this brings in the performance. So you know what? I'm going to divide this video into 4 sections. The design and looks, the performance, the tech in this car, and that one small quirk that isn't exactly a compromise but might bug some people. So you know what? Let me just stop the car and show you the looks first up. See, this looks like a typical Audi car and the design is very similar to other Q series, but what distinguishes this is the new 2D logo that sits on a glass surface, and it even has a projection light that adds to the whole minimal modern look. The grille has a hexagonal design and there are these air intakes which help in aerodynamics, and there are the digital matrix LED headlamps which has a few cool tricks up its sleeve when you unlock the car. In fact, there are actually different dynamic projections available. Anyway, the back also has these connected tail lamps which again look very minimal, and this is how the side profile looks like, and you can see the 20-inch aerodynamic alloys with red calipers, black inlays, and it has the floating center caps, which is a nice touch. Also, this is the Q8 e-tron Sportback, but there's also the Q8 e-tron SUV which has a slightly bigger boot space and slightly more headroom in the backseat. See, this car looks premium, no doubts about that, but let's get to the inside because that's where things get even more interesting. Now, I've been focusing on the whole no compromise thing, right? Well, one of the reasons I say that is because even though this car is aimed at comfort, you can completely customize the driving experience. This is a 4-wheel drive car, aka the Quattro tech, and there are 3 Quattro modes: auto, dynamic, off-road, which is pretty usual. But what's awesome is that being an SUV, and that too an electric SUV, you need a lot of ground clearance, especially for rough Indian roads. And the Q8 e-tron actually has 7 different driving modes that raise or lower the car dynamically. So there's dynamic, which is to forget this is an SUV and have your fun because the car is the most lowered in this mode. There's efficiency, there's all-road for slightly rough terrains, and there's off-road for really rough terrains, and this mode has the highest ground clearance. There's also auto, comfort, and individual, where you can customize the suspension, the steering, and the drive. This is insane because you can actually change the ground clearance by up to 70 millimeters up or down. See, the control you have is amazing, and like I said, this brings the power. This packs in a 114 kilowatt-hour battery up from 95 in the e-tron, which adds 100 kilometers of range, and there's fast charging up to 170 kilowatt now. And the bigger battery in the Q8 e-tron puts out 408 horsepower, and this can go from 0 to 100 in 5.6 seconds. Now, I couldn't test that exactly, but I can tell you that this is a fast car. It's an EV after all, so it launches really quick, and it goes to 3-digit speeds really quickly. Yeah, this is fun. Apart from this, you can also listen to the artificial sound outside the car. I also really like the steering wheel here. It stiffens up in the dynamic mode and the feel and feedback of the steering is really good. Now, like I said, this is aimed at comfort. So you get a soft suspension in almost all the modes, and there's a bit of body roll, but it's not too bad. We also drove this in a bad road stretch, and the off-road mode handled things without any problems. See, the basic gist is it's a premium car, it's completely comfort oriented, and the air suspension just wins the game. Now, the range is also a big factor in an EV, and this has a WLTP range of 582 kilometers, and on 100% charge, the car was showing us 420 kilometers of range. And there's also a special range mode that adds 20 to 30 kilometers to this. There's also energy recuperation, which obviously adds to the range, and there are 3 levels to choose from, and you can change the levels from the paddle shifters. And in level 3, you can basically drive with a single pedal. As for charging, this has a charging socket on both the sides, and Audi bundles 2 chargers with the e-tron. One 22 kilowatt charger is set up at your house, and the other one is bundled with the car, so that's pretty good. Moving on to what's absolutely my favorite section, the tech. So like I said at the start, no gimmicks, only the essential features, and let's start off with the screens because there's 4 of them. The MID screen is sharp and nice, and it is customizable. There are 3 different themes here: Classic, Sport, and e-tron. And this screen shows you a ton of info, be it the range, the navigation, which also spreads out to the whole screen, the media playing, and more. Then there's the infotainment screen, which is again very smooth, very responsive, and there's good, nice haptic feedback. And this is all the features you expect from a modern day car. Now, one odd thing is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are still wired, which is a bit weird in a premium car like this. Then there's this screen for the climate control system, which by the way also has controls for the front seat's ventilation, heating, and massages. There's another screen on the back for rear climate control. Apart from the screens, there are these buttons. This button opens up the 360-degree camera, which looks like this, and there's even park assist here. Below that is the phone box that also has this wireless charging slot, which works fine. And what I do like is this really cool looking gear selector. It just looks very premium and unique. Now the dashboard has a matte brushed aluminum finish, and honestly pictures don't do justice to it. See, I think this looks much nicer in person, and you can obviously customize this, get it in a wooden style finish for the old school classy vibe. The whole cabin also has ambient lighting with different themes to choose from, or you could choose from 30 different colors. There's also a 7 and 5 watt Bang & Olufsen speaker setup with 16 3D speakers and a 15-channel amplifier, and the sound is actually really good, in line with what you expect from a premium car like this. Coming to the seats, they have a nice look and feel, be it on the front or the rear, and the front seats are electronically adjustable, and there's obviously memory function. The tech apart, remember that one little quirk in this car? Here's what I'm talking about. See, Audi was among the first to bring dual displays in a car. It was one of the first to connected tail lamps, the first to dynamic indicators, but now it feels like all of that progress has slowed down a bit. Where other car makers are progressing towards more bolder cars, Audi is somewhat sticking to its roots, which might be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your outlook. I'd love to know what you think on this. Now, if you ask me, I still like the whole Audi vibe this car has, and this is pretty much everything you want in an electric SUV. Yeah, I'll be honest, there are no path-breaking or mind-blowing features here, but let's face it, a lot of those features can be at times be gimmicky, and this, the Q8 e-tron, it just feels like it means business without compromising in what is essentially a luxury electric SUV.